Things got a little bit tense when my father was teaching me how to drive. He was a perfectionist, and the car I was learning in was the size of a small island, and I was very nervous. And as I was driving along, he just kept telling me what I was doing wrong. You're driving too close to the curb. You're not braking soon enough. You're driving too close to the center line. You're accelerating too slowly out of the turns. And it was just this continuous stream of everything I was doing wrong. And finally, I just pulled the car over and said, Dad, I'm not learning anything. You just keep telling me what not to do and how not to do it, but you're not teaching me what to do or how to do it. And my dad said, well, I thought you knew what to do. Didn't you take driver's ed? And I was like, yeah, but they just taught us traffic laws and showed us gory movies. They didn't tell us what to do. And so my dad took a breath and he said this. Okay, here's what you need to do. You need to strap the car on your back and make it do what you want it to do. You need to strap the car on your back and make it respond to you. Because right now, you're strapped in the car and you're responding to the car. You need to get the car to respond to you. And that was a brilliant piece of advice. That was one of the most brilliant pieces of advice I've ever received, because it's not just about driving. It's about life. It's about happiness and joy. I call it to this day the Jesus principle, because it is about strapping the love of God on your heart and going out into the world and having the world respond to the love of God. Because we have a choice. We can either live negatively, responding with criticism and condemnation to the chaos in the culture around us. We can do that, and in fact, it's what we often do. We are responding to the power in the world around us. Or we can choose to live positively. We can strap the power of God's love onto our hearts, and we can go out and we can have the world respond to that. It's our choice. In our gospel, we hear those words that Jesus did not come to condemn the world, but to save it. There were a lot of voices surrounding him that wanted him to condemn things. There were a lot of folks who wanted him to criticize and condemn and spend his time and his energy and his messaging pointing out what is wrong with everybody else. Here's how the Roman governments need to change. Here's how the temple authorities need to change. Here's how the Pharisees need to change. Here's how the zealots need to change. There were a lot of voices that wanted him to spend his life telling everyone else what's wrong with them. But that's not what he did. He strapped the love of God on his heart, and he went out and brought it into the world so the world could respond to that. Instead of condemning the world, he came to save the world. And it's the same choice we make every day, isn't it? We can choose to live a life of criticism and condemnation, spending our time and our energy, our messaging, our conversation about everything that's wrong with everyone else. Everything that's wrong with the world, the culture, the government, whatever. Or we can choose to spend our lives, our time, our energy, our messaging, our conversation with the power of God's love strapped to our hearts, bringing it out for the world to respond to us. What do you think we do most days? What do you do most days? It's easy to get caught up in the negativity and the condemnation, but that's not who Christ was. That's not why Christ came, and that's not the message he gives to us. Do this in memory, he says, as he breaks himself open and pours himself out and offers himself the fullness of God's love. He offers himself up and says, do this in memory of me. As I have done, you should also do. To live positively, to live from that center of love and put that in the world. That's the choice. And when we choose to live negatively, when we choose to live and spend our time and our energy and our voices advancing condemnation and criticism, all we feed is the tension of division and anger and mistrust and hatred and violence. But when we choose to live from that power of love, having it strapped onto our hearts and flowing into the world, then we build a community of compassion and joy and mercy and hope. And may the world-saving love of Christ rain down upon you. And may the world-saving love of Christ just wrap itself around the heart within you. And may the world-saving love of Christ flow out and touch all humanity through you.